It is a boundary drawn in fire and shadow, an immense circle of sublime beauty and terrifying power that encircles the vast Pacific. Here, on the Ring of Fire, civilizations rise on the slopes of volcanoes that could erase them in an instant. It is the planet's great paradox, a zone of catastrophic destruction that is also an engine of profound creation. How can this be? Let's open the geological record and uncover the truths of our restless planet. The Ring of Fire is no single line, but a sprawling 40,000-kilometer horseshoe of seismic activity. It's home to more than 75% of the world's active volcanoes and the source of roughly 90% of all its earthquakes. From the towering Andes of South America, through North America's Cascades, across the Aleutian Islands, and down through Japan, the Philippines, and New Zealand, this is where the Earth's inner turmoil reveals itself. For centuries, we saw these violent events as isolated and chaotic acts of nature. But when we look deeper, a single, unified system emerges, governed by one of the most powerful theories in science, plate tectonics. The Earth's crust is not a static, unbroken shell. It is a mosaic of colossal plates, floating and grinding across the semi-molten mantle below. At the very heart of this story lies the Pacific Plate, the largest of them all. Along its edges, it collides with the continental plates that surround it in a slow-motion confrontation of unimaginable power. This process is called subduction. Here, the denser oceanic crust is forced to dive, or subduct, beneath the lighter continental crust that floats above. As the oceanic plate descends into the searing heat of the mantle, it begins to melt. Rock, superheated water, and trapped gases become buoyant magma, rising through cracks in the crust to erupt violently as the volcanoes we see today. This is the fundamental mechanism, the great geological engine that drives the Ring of Fire. And with every tremor, with every eruption, it asks the same profound question. We witness the destruction, but where is the creation? How can this violent, world-shaping process forge not only new land, but become the crucible for new life itself? To find evidence of this creative force, we must journey into the heart of the fire itself, to the epicenters of tectonic collision, where the planet is actively unmaking and remaking itself. Our story begins along the western edge of South America, on the immense spine of the Andes Mountains. Here, the Nazca Oceanic Plate relentlessly pushes eastward, diving beneath the South American continent, a process known as subduction, at just a few centimeters per year. To us, that's imperceptible. On a geological clock, it's a cataclysmic, continent-shaping crawl. The friction and pressure at this boundary melt rock, fuel volcanoes, and force the edge of the continent to buckle, fold, and rise. This is orogeny, mountain building on the grandest scale imaginable. The Andes, the longest continental mountain range on Earth, are living proof of this tectonic artistry. Every towering peak, every high plateau, was lifted from the crust by the same subduction that triggers its earthquakes. The volcanoes crowning this range, Cotopaxi, Nevado del Ruiz, are geological chimneys venting gases from the semi-molten mantle below. Each eruption is a fleeting symptom of a much deeper process, the slow, relentless creation of land. The eruption is destruction, but the uplift is creation. Here, the Ring of Fire doesn't just circle the Pacific, it builds the very walls that contain it. Thousands of kilometers across the ocean, our second case emerges, the Japanese archipelago. A different choreography, but the same result. Here, not one, but several oceanic plates collide in a complex tectonic ballet. The Pacific Plate dives beneath the Philippine Sea Plate, which in turn subducts beneath the Eurasian Plate, generating colossal strain beneath the Western Pacific. The outcome isn't a coastal mountain range, but a volcanic island arc, land literally forged from the seafloor. Japan itself is born of subduction, volcanic peaks rising from abyssal plains, erupting again and again until they breach the surface. Mount Fuji, that serene icon, is in truth a monument to violence, a scar shaped by cycles of fire and ash. Japan lives in a permanent state of geological tension, 111 active volcanoes, thousands of earthquakes each year. Yet from that danger comes abundance, geothermal heat, fertile volcanic soils, and a culture shaped by the deep awareness that the same earth which nourishes can also betray. These islands are more than a homeland. They are the visible proof that the Ring of Fire can raise entire nations from the sea. But creating land is only half the story. To witness the rest, we must leave the sunlit world and descend into the abyss, into the deep ocean trenches where tectonic plates grind and the mantle's heat seeps through the cracks. Here, in the late 1970s, scientists discovered hydrothermal vents, black smokers, chimney-like towers spewing superheated water from deep within the crust. This water, heated by magma to over 400 degrees Celsius, leaches minerals and sulfur compounds from the surrounding rock, emerging as dark, mineral-rich plumes. In this pitch-black realm, sunlight cannot reach, and yet life thrives. Giant tube worms, blind shrimp, ghostly crabs, all clustered around the vents, sustained not by light, but by chemistry. Microscopic extremophiles perform chemosynthesis, transforming toxic hydrogen sulfide into organic matter and pure energy. Here, the food chain begins not with sunlight, but with the Earth's own heat. This discovery rewrote biology itself. The Ring of Fire doesn't just create new continents, it creates new possibilities for life. The fire below becomes the spark for existence in the dark. The discovery of chemosynthetic life in the deep sea was a revelation. It proved that the creative potential of tectonic energy extends far beyond rock and magma, into the very fabric of biology itself. But this principle isn't confined to the abyss. Back on the surface, we find an even more intricate relationship between life and the fire below. Here, the cycle of destruction and creation is not rare. It's the planet's heartbeat. It is a relentless, evolutionary arms race, with life evolving new strategies to endure and even flourish amid geological chaos. Consider the aftermath of a great volcanic eruption. The land is erased, a sterilized expanse of gray ash and pumice shimmering in the heat. Yet for life, this is not an ending. It is the opening act of renewal. The ash, though born in destruction, is a chemical gift, rich in minerals from the semi-molten mantle below, a deep earth subsidy for the living world. Soon, the first colonizers appear, the pioneer species, hardy mosses, ferns, microbes. They cling to the unstable slopes, turning mineral dust into the first traces of soil. In living and dying, they lay down the foundation for everything that follows. This process, ecological succession, unfolds rapidly on volcanic frontiers, where constant disturbance prevents stagnation. It's nature's paradox. Instability itself becomes the engine of diversity. In such places, The race belongs not to the strongest, but to the most adaptable and the most opportunistic. As we trace the fiery arc of the Pacific, the paradox of the Ring of Fire resolves into something profound. The same forces that unleash devastation also sculpt continents, enrich soils, and even spark life in eternal darkness. This is not a line of chaos, but a seam of creation, where the planet's restless heart is laid bare. Destruction and renewal are not opposites. They are partners in the same cosmic dance, the ceaseless tectonic rhythm that shapes both the Earth's surface and the life that refuses to let go of it.